Hey guys, welcome back to slashff episode 6. We missed a week, but we all had exams going on, and now we're back. Today is the Tuesday. What's the date? 26th?
Yep.
Okay, so 2/26/19. So join with me are the usual guys: Skieco, Will, and Flashy Mechanics or Laws of Physics,
What's up, guys?
Michael. What's been going on with you guys these last 2 weeks?
I had a 2.5 hour test today. That was fun.
Watching midterms got pushed back for a bit, so that's nice. I can actually catch up on watching the different regions.
I see. All right, well, so we got to catch up on 2 weeks of games, and we'll start off with Lek My Balls as tradition. Yeah, what do you guys think of Lek? Fnatic seems to be on the upswing.
My favorite thing was talked about how not Immortals, Origin was gonna be. I was like, they're gonna get on the upswing. They're gonna after they beat G2, and then they just get fucking dicked by Fnatic and.
When Fnatic won against Vitality, I saw Twitch chat spam Fnatic plot armor, Fnatic plot armor.
Dude, I thought Origin won that. They were on a 4 or 5 game winning streak, and I was like, oh, this is the time where they turn around. Then they beat G2. I was like, wow, they might actually be able to do something. And then they go 0-2 this week. So, big yikes.
Big yikes, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty pog. So I don't know, man.
It's just the same thing every week for me with LEC. It's just G2's god tier, and then everyone else is just super inconsistent.
I don't know how Schalke has been so inconsistent though, because the way I looked at that team, I thought they were a very heavy macro team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're a very slow, wear you down team.
Yeah, so I just felt like they'd be more consistent. When I the thought experiment I always had was if Team Liquid was put into LEC, I thought they would slot in where Schalke pretty much is. So I don't know, I thought they were just had a very similar style, but
Rogue got another win, so that's pretty impressive.
yeah. Well,
SK is gonna make playoffs.
Okay. So SK is 6-6 and hold the tiebreaker against Fnatic. So if they're both have a shitty score and one goes into playoffs, it's gonna be SK.
Yeah.
Fnatic really regretting those early losses against SK now.
One wants to listen to sit in the tall apparently.
That'll fuck up the video call is the problem.
Yeah.
He doesn't turn on his video, doesn't it?
Why don't
No,
one of you guys?
what
if one of you guys just streams it?
Sure, I'll stream it.
All right, cool. Anyways, so.
But I think it's just looking at the standings, it's just so everyone's just so inconsistent. It's 8-4 is the next best, and that's Vitality, and they've lost some pretty bad games this split. So
yeah, I agree.
Literally no one is consistent this split. There's 3 6-6 teams. Misfits was lost 4 or 5 straight, and now they're back in 6-6.
Yeah, so Misfits had their coaching swap up. Yeah. Interesting stuff from a lot of League podcasts this week, especially Listen Loco. They're talking about Misfits. Was the idea that if you had to replace one player, they were saying Max Lore, is the one to go on that team.
Yeah, Rogue was the big meme, and now they're probably going to be better than XL.
Expect.
Yeah, XL's looking real bad.
XL has the 10-man roster, but we still haven't even seen the other guys, so they must be pretty rough.
Yeah.
if they haven't benched. Rogue also must have a pretty rough backup AD carry.
PQ
hasn't been benched yet. I guess they won. Well, Finn's look pretty good though.
No, their backup ADC's still 17 years old, so they're
yeah.
Oh, you can't play in LEC until you're 18. Dude, that's BS.
Same with NALCS. That's the same one. That's the same reason Viper didn't play.
Dude, that's fucking crap, dude. In LPL, you can play when you're 17.
Yeah, Ricky played at 16, 15.
Yeah.
Hold up, Hold up, before you continue on, let me fucking make this thing for a WAD second.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't deserve it. WAD, thank you for supporting our content. We are holding the video just so we can stream this to you live.
He hasn't even fucking...
Yeah, but he'll see that on the replay. Oh, then he won't hear me flame him. Okay, sick.
Yeah, but been pretty boring in the LEC.
Yeah, no. There's not much. I just.
I can't even meme on Fnatic that hard because they've won 5 straight.
I don't know. Even if Fnatic is on the upswing, I don't know what's going on in that team. You know what I mean? Why did they do so poorly early season? And if they have such a huge upswing and continue winning 2-0 weekends, why are they doing so well? All right, now the other thing though is in the next few weeks.
I should be live now, by the way.
The next few weeks for Fnatic, they have to play against G2 and a bunch of other teams like Schalke and stuff. So in theory, Fnatic should.
Yeah, they play against Splice G2. Splice G2, Schalke.
Right. In
Misfits.
theory, if they lose more games, they're pretty bones.
This week shouldn't be a bad for them though. They play Rogue and Schalke. So
Yeah, but I feel like Rogue is like starting to become random to a point where like you don't know. It needs to be 50-50 against them.
No, but so they still have to play
Rogue?
against Schalke, Misfits, and G2, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, later this
in
season.
theory,
Well,
if they get
next
3
week.
more losses and they're 5-7.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
5-7.
Okay, if they go to 3 more losses, you put them at 10 losses, right? It's unlikely they make playoffs if they're at 10 losses.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's
I feel
impossible, but it's unlikely because if they hold tiebreaker, it might be against like SK or something, and they lose tiebreaker instantly.
I find it funny. Rogue's just playing what they want now. Like, their team's just.
I
Like,
mean,
their comps are just,
if
like,
you're
kinda
fucked out
just,
of
like-
playoffs, you just
Yeah,
you
no,
play
they're
what you
just
want.
playing like comfort picks and like
Yeah.
off meta stuff.
I think they're expecting the fact that there will be that.
Yeah.
That there'll be a full.
And actually, Hiki's actually been playing pretty decent since Vander's been subbed in. So I don't know if what did was just not a good fit for him, but
Well, maybe-
ever since
I mean,
Vander's been in, they've been
There could also be like a communication thing. I'm not sure how good Wadid's English is compared to like Vander's.
yeah.
No.
Alright, anything else on LEC? I just don't have much exciting stuff.
Nah,
like,
there's
no.
not much
I
really.
just, yeah, nothing to spice it up really.
Uh,
All right, so we'll go to LCK next because we'll do LCS last. So LCK, so Sandbox lost.
Sandbox lost. SKT lost.
SKT lost, but that means Sandbox is still 1-up on SKT. Flame is
Yeah.
on Dom1 Gaming now.
Dude, Flame's debut was actually really fucking good.
Yeah, he came in clutch, won the series. He helped Dom1 win the series 2-1 against SKT. So now Dom1 is tied with Hanwha and Kingzone. So they're
Yep.
all competing for playoff spots now. At the bottom, we have Jin Air, still no wins. And actually, KT is the lowest team because Afrika moved to 3-7 and Gen G moved to 3-7. I thought Gen G would be lower than KT, but KT's actually 2-10 now, so KT's relegation tier, or 2-8. That is
Yeah.
a fucking shocker. Because when I saw KT, I thought they would be a better Afrika, right? Because like UCal Keen is like, I thought BDD Smeb would be better, and I thought they would be like mid to top tier teams. Both of them at the bottom, and KT actually below, which is so surprising. I think, yeah,
Why? I don't know why KT's so bad.
same.
I don't get it.
I don't know either. I have no
Oh.
idea what's going on with KT. They should honestly beg Prey to be their AD carry. They should just fucking grovel for Prey to come back and become their AD carry.
Yep.
That's the best solution for them.
Griffin is still probably the best team in the world at the moment.
Yeah, Griffin's still undefeated right now.
Watching Griffin just makes me have no hope for any team going to Worlds right now, at least. Griffin just looks so good.
Well, Worlds is still, like, almost top
I
tier.
am going to
Yeah,
hold
but-
my opinions until LPL playoffs
Okay.
finish, though. No.
Okay.
I'll start making predictions after LPL playoffs because I need to see how the LPL teams play once they're in playoffs to determine if they're actually going to be consistent or if they're going to like be very bloody. Because the thing is, like, even in best of 3, Griffin is playing very well in terms of like they take fights that are like very one-sided, and their
Yes.
rotations are very on point. LPL's teams, like, I feel like the players are individually really good, and it's the same story as before. But against like Griffin, if Griffin's rotations are better, that doesn't really matter. So I need to see how LPL teams stack up when they do play like more seriously, especially IG, who's like not on form right now. And I need to see top after they develop. And same thing with like RNG after a few weeks. So
Yeah, 'cause I think Knight will be really good once he's actually developed. Since it's his first play, right?
yeah, because he wasn't able to play last year. And then Zoom is probably still the second best top laner in LPL, and he's with Yagao and Jaedong. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, they don't have Loken or Clit anymore. If they still had Loken and Clit, Jaedong would be very good, but they have fucking Imp, who's kind of a wash right now. But I don't know. This isn't the LPL segment because we don't really have
Yeah.
much to talk about for
I'm
LPL.
watching-
Anyways,
I'm looking at LCK right now.
Yeah.
And, like, looking at the
Um,
game for this week, we have Sandbox Afrika.
so
Dom One Jin
Afrika
Air.
has a possibility of actually beating Sandbox here. Afrika's
Yeah.
been. It seems like they're starting to get more shit together, and that Sandbox's strategy is being a bit more figured out.
Yeah.
But Sandbox still very high on the standing. Their scores are pretty much reversed
I think
right now.
like because like Ghost impressed me so much from his like from when he used to be on fucking barbecue all of his.
Ghost also impressed me a lot back in 2008 until he got killed by Shepard.
Oh my god, you can't make that reference.
Hey, look at the face. I'm
What
kidding.
a reference right there.
What a
dude.
reference. No,
On
but anyways,
Fleek
yeah.
is super good.
Yeah,
Like,
on
Fleek
Fleek is like their best player, pretty much.
You guys
Like,
keep talking. I'll be right back.
Alright.
On Fleek is pretty
Oh.
much their best player.
I still think Sandbots can win it, but I do think Afrika has a better chance than before.
I think
take that out,
Afrika,
possibly.
like, they've done a lot of experimentation, especially with like all the spirit stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping for them that they've kind of concluded like what they want out of that now. Because if they're gonna trend upwards, it's halfway through the split and they can't keep experimenting. I mean, they're
Yes.
still a bit fucked right now because I don't think they'll make playoffs. But like, if they want a shot, they need to have things figured out through scrims like this week.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
God, Genji. I didn't. Okay, so Genji played what, Roach mid lane. Roach is their sub top laner, and they
Yeah.
replaced Fly for Roach. They shot their sub top laner mid lane.
I don't.
That's how much
I
of a
don't know.
wash Fly has been right now.
I
Yep.
think as much as Fly's been bad, I think Peanut's been worse on Genji.
Mm.
I think Peanut's not performing to his pay grade because he's being paid so much on Genji.
I feel like Peanut's best performances were with Khan and Smeb,
Yeah.
who are, the two best carry top laners in LCK. And like I know he played with Huni for with SKT, and that wasn't super successful. But I would definitely consider Khan and Smeb a tier above Huni. Just Worlds 2015, Smeb doused Huni both sides of the matchup that Huni thought was unfair. Even in 2017, even though KT lost, KT had a lot of other issues that were not topside in terms of the 1v1. Khan smacked down Huni in both Longju and King Zone. So like, I think Peanut really needs like a carry top to enable him. And
I think he needs
yeah.
a top that lets him be aggressive because
Yeah.
he's Peanut's like what we used to call the battle ward, like the jungler that always wants to invade to keep eyes on enemy jungler.
Yeah.
And because he has consistently losing laners, that doesn't help his cause.
Yeah.
Like he's like a good jungler on the wrong team, I guess. The best way to put it.
I don't think you put Peanut on a team that also like you have a hyper carry 80 carry on. Prey, like whenever he played with Prey actually wasn't super resource intensive. Prey was a lot more like bang, but the problem with like SKT was that they didn't really play super hard through mid top. Even though they had low econ bot side, they still like stabilized a lot of the time. So Peanut wasn't as successful on there, but if you look at like Longju and Rocks, their mid top was much more aggressive, especially on Longju. So, and Kingzone for that matter. Or he wasn't on Longju, my bad, on Kingzone. So I don't know. I think that because mid top is so weak on Genji, Peanut's not going to be able to do much.
Wait, did you guys know that? Does Genji have any other teams that aren't in League of Legends?
I don't know, but they signed a streamer on Twitter.
Yeah.
A female.
Yeah.
She was like
Natsumi.
Natsumi. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's what I was
but-
wondering. I saw that tweet and I was like, Genji is signing NA streamers?
I mean, it makes sense to try to like get their branding out there.
Well, yeah, I just didn't expect them to.
Speaking of deals, SKT is rebranding to T1.
You see Faker's
Yeah.
Twitter?
Yeah, T1 Faker.
Did you follow
Tyler
him?
Yeah, of course I fucking followed him.
Yeah, I looked at it earlier this morning and I was like, Jack's not following me yet. He must not have woken up.
Tyler 1 Faker. How does that feel, guys?
T1 Teddy, dude.
It's gonna be awkward when the T1 Invitational comes out and everyone's gonna think it's SKT.
I'm gonna still call them SKT. You know what
I
this
saw-
fucking shit
his-
says?
in his tweet, he
SK
called them SKT.
Telecom, baby. All right.
He called them SKT in his tweet, SK Telecom in his tweet.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Fucking whatever. This is big for esports. I hope the deal like does good things for
Sprint.
SKT.
A freak of freaks.
I don't know, like
It should actually be Sprint KT now because they're so bad.
as much as as much as I love like more money being put into esports,
I think it's a fucking
hate-
bubble.
I hate this name change, dude.
I think the
really
only
hate this
region
name change.
that can actually support a shit ton of money going into esports is LPL, just due to player
gonna say
base and
China.
profit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only region that like I don't think esports is a bubble right now. Or I mean, yeah, Korea to
I'd
some
say-
extent, but mostly
I'd say
China.
Maybe NA.
No, dude, I think NA's player base is so small. I think like if shit doesn't start being profitable eventually, it has to boom at some point, right? Like,
But I think it is being profitable though right now, especially for like Clutch, and GG.
I don't think Clutch, dude. I think the only teams that make some level of profit are like TSM and
C9,
TL and C9. Yeah, and I don't think they're making a lot. I think it's like literally like penny change for them right now.
I think, yeah, I don't think they made returns yet. I don't think they're gonna make. Well, maybe the big teams have, but I don't think the smaller teams are
Right,
gonna make
I don't think any of the
returns
smaller teams are
until
making returns.
until franchising gets.
Oh, and 100
involved
Thieves. 100
a bit
Thieves.
more.
I think 100 Thieves.
It's
is
only been
profitable.
one split, so I don't think they're gonna make money for a
Yeah.
bit, but
Yeah, I would say
esports are becoming more regularized.
yeah, especially broadcasting.
Normalized. There you go.
Yeah.
I think once esports becomes much more broadcast, we didn't talk about this on like the after section, but I think once esports gets
Okay. Oh, okay. We
broadcast
can talk about this then after LCK finishes.
My,
I mean,
my dad saw esports on ESPN, and he was like, "Is this what you were talking about? The esports?"
son.
He's like,
Hello,
"The esports?
son.
Is this
Is
what
this
you're talking about?"
what you're
I love
into?
when I got my Immortal shirt in the mail. He's like, "A video game team," and I was like, "Oh, yikes!
Oh, man.
A gamer team."
Gamers rise up. T1. Anyways, I don't really have anything else to say about LCK though.
do you want to do predictions for LCK or no?
Not really. I mean,
Griffin. Woo.
yeah, Griffin. There's not much. SKT plays Kingzone again. I just fucking hope they don't lose. Like that's.
Dude, what if they lose to Genji?
I will be very unhappy.
Peanuts revenge, baby.
But it's okay. If they lose to Genji, it's spring break. I'm just gonna be playing a shit ton of League when that happens. So. Okay, we can move on to NA now.
Dude,
2 weeks of NA have passed since the last time we covered it. Last time,
my
Will
boys.
was gloating. TSM was 0-2.
boys.
Clutch was 0-2. Optic
was
went
such a good week for
0-2.
me.
FlyQuest went 2-0. TL went 2-0.
dude.
What happened the last 2 weeks?
Every team I didn't want to win won.
Except for Clutch.
Optic-
Except for Clutch. Clutch
Except
was
for
1-3.
Clutch. But Optic won
Dude,
2,
but your
TSM
bet
won
is off.
2.
But your bet is off of him.
Oh yeah, our bet is off.
Yeah.
We'll watch the anime ahead, but me and Michael's bet is still on for Clutch. If Clutch ends bottom 3 or Clutch ends
Yeah,
top 3,
our
our
Optic
thing is
bet's
on.
still up, right?
Yeah, Optic bet is still up too.
Oh no, I said off.
No, Optic bet is still up, bitch.
It's alright, they're gonna lose. They're boom.
So
Hmm.
TSM went 4-0 past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Optic is winning. FlyQuest is losing.
Well, Optic's not winning. They're just slightly better
So
than they
don't
were.
even.
Slightly better.
Liquid's winning.
Liquid lost to TSM, so I'm happy.
They first picked fucking York. Oh.
They're trying new strats, dude.
I don't
Best
know.
of three.
Okay. We'll go through the teams one by one. We'll start from the bottom. 100 Thieves. Wow. This team
Trash.
looks poop. They're fucked. Holy shit.
Just when we thought they were turning around, Hookie's off
Dude,
Lissandra and back to shit.
this is legit. Like, all right. Next preseason, you guys got to remind me to like be more fucking ballsy with my fucking like
Dude, I drank the 100 Thieves tea, dude. Episode 1 of this podcast,
no.
I was like
So
all about
okay,
it.
so I put 100 Thieves as like my number 3. I'm pretty sure, and like
They were my number 2, dude.
okay, I put 100 Thieves. Oh yeah, they were my number
had them
2.
at number 4.
Okay,
I had
100
them-
Thieves was my number 2. All right, you guys got to remind me to be more like ballsy next time because I think in that episode I literally said like I'm think they're gonna be number 2 because if they play through Bang and Bang becomes a carry or they learn to play through Someday, the team will be super successful because the other side of the map will win. But I should have. I think I threw in the caveat of like I don't know what they're gonna fucking do because Huhi is a low econ, Someday's low econ, Anda's low econ, Bang is low econ. Who the fuck are they playing through? And I really should have like talked more about that because that honestly like was my biggest fucking concern and it came true. So like that makes me
Leave
upset.
it to 100 Thieves to get backdoored by Optic. Oh my god.
Okay, so hear me out.
me
Imagine
off.
100 Thieves if they had Crown instead of Huhi, but their AD carry was Asta. Or Apollo.
Optic?
Or something.
They could have Cody's son at that point.
Yeah, for 100 Thieves, like if they had Asta
They
or
could have
something.
bought Apollo.
They could have bought Apollo. No fucking way Apollo goes to Echo Fox if they buy Apollo. There's no fucking way he stays
The
on.
problem is I don't know if his. Well, they could have bought him off of Echo
Right.
Fox. But that would have been a better team. But
Or just the standard one where the deal was in the place was Pobelter mid.
What about
I don't
a
think
team-
Pobelter fixes their issues, but like I think he's better than Huhi. by like
I
a
also think
huge
Afro is
margin.
really bad right now. Afro's playing horrible for.
I have to wait until the end of the split to
Their
like.
bot lane has no synergy right now.
I need to wait until the end of the split to see like what Afro is performing like. Like I think eye test wise, Afro looks like poop, but I really have to like take a look at his stats and stuff by the end of the split.
But
Because when a team does badly, I feel like support because they're trying to like make plays. Especially like Afro is always gonna look like he ints. Like Afro is, I feel like has never looked average. He was MVP status last spring, and then once the team looked like poop, it was just Afro's inting. He's fucking garbage.
Well,
So I
he's
really,
trying to
yeah.
force
So I
plays.
really have to like take a look at like what he's doing in game, and then to also take a look at the stats to determine how bad, if he is bad.
what
or
about
much
a team a line for 100 Thieves because Dardock was still available. Of
No,
someday
Dardock was on my
Dardock-
Mortals team. I can't be on that team.
Okay, so
Shut up,
go ahead, Michael.
Someday Dardock, Pobelter, Bang, Afro. I think that's a really good lineup, actually. I think you have carry jungler who can take all the resources because Pobelter's low econ and can play carry roles. Bang's low econ, Sunday's low econ, so you play through mid jungle synergy, and then you can flex that all over the map.
So I think the problem is that Afromu is a personality, and
Yeah.
it creates the same issue that like a lot of teams where like whenever, and this is like my biggest fear when building rosters. This is why I don't like the SKT roster right now. When you have an Afromu on your team, it becomes an Afromu team. Just like when you have Mata on your team, it becomes a Mata team. I think that like Afro pretty much has like dictates what's going on, because like there's a reason they brought in Huhi and not Popelter, right? Like Huhi is friends with Afro from CLG. Like that's
I don't
gonna
think
happen.
you could buy. I don't think you could get Pobelter to get off FlyQuest at this point.
No, definitely not.
What if they had bought Wild Turtle, and they had an import mid?
I
'Cause
think,
I
I
think-
think everyone on FlyQuest is just happy where they are, though.
No,
They
no,
seem
no. I meant like
all the
in
players seem to
preseason.
really
In
enjoy it.
preseason, had they gotten
Well, yeah,
like a
still,
wild,
I think Turtle really liked FlyQuest last season. He
I
looked
still
really
don't
happy.
I still don't think that team will do well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still think the problem still lies in Afromu's support play, and I think the problem lies in Onda just not being aggressive enough.
Yeah, Onda's really gone down this split, because I thought like last split I gave him a lot of credit because like he came in to replace Meteos and he actually like performed pretty well given what he had. But this split he's been on a
He was the
downturn.
best performer at Worlds.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But-
At this point, the rosters are pretty locked right now, and I don't know what 100 Thieves could do to actually like improve, because fundamentally they halfway through the split their playstyle hasn't changed, and that means the players are kind of dead set on their original playstyles. That really
Yeah.
fucks them.
They can't do anything unless they do what C9 did last split and they bench their
Also,
starter. They're pretty
I think-
locked in with who they
I also
have.
think Probably is a problem. I think Probably's drafts have been trying to be too cute and not actually.
Yeah,
have
I
anything.
agree with the drafts. I don't think he's a bad coach by any means. I think they're trying to be too cute. I don't think their synergy is good enough to play those kind of comps.
Yeah,
But dude, what about the chemistry between
So,
Kuhi and Afro
I-
in episode one?
No.
Roll?
I drank the tea, dude. It was there.
I don't know. I want to see what 100 Thieves does between splits, but
Afro's-
even between splits, I think they're still kind of boom. But it'll be interesting if they make any good moves.
Afro just reminds me of like these NBA stars who are like basically.
Is it 'cause he's
they're
black,
like
Will?
No,
'Cause you're
they're like
racist?
no, it's because they're like GM players. Like when you have them on your team, you basically like.
Yeah, they're
play-
the personality.
Yeah, it's like you build around the personality of player, but like
Mhm.
they pick with the team and like they focus around that player
Yeah.
too much. They get too much input and then they end up running the team into the ground.
I don't. Yeah.
That's what LeBron did, and then he left.
Yeah,
And
see,
then
I-
the team turned into beans.
Like I have a lot of players that like I would never. I would never pick up these players unless I was gonna build around them. Would be like Afro, Mata, Smeb. Like these are players like I would never pick up unless. Oh, Huni too. These are personality players that like you don't pick up unless you're just like building around them. Pretty
Yeah.
I
much.
think
I can
Hooney's
agree with
just.
that.
I think Hooney's dog shit. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, even last
I
year.
think
though,
he's
it's
been
like,
dog shit for. a
No,
split
so
now.
like, think about last year though, like on Echo Fox, I feel like Huni actually was given like a pretty good team spring split wise that like complemented him. They gave him a very like strong jungler to just like, hey, camp top side. Phoenix was a wild card, sure, whatever, but bot lane was like meant to play consistent. So like that was like a build around that actually ended up being successful for a good amount of time until Huni started inting his ass off. So like. Or like these are just players, yeah. I would never get unless like it was built around.
I thought he'd be doing better now because.
Okay, so then we can go to clutch then because they're the other 3 and 17.
It's like a semi-top carry meta right now. So like, I thought they'd be doing a little bit better because Piglet and Vulcan have been kind of playing the safe bot lanes.
I
like
think
the
Piglet
Sivir
and
CS
Vulcan
build.
have overtaken Demonte as the better players on for over the last like few weeks on Clutch.
Devontae was pretty boom when he got solo
Yeah,
killed twice.
he got fucked by Crown.
Yeah.
Um,
But Zoe is pretty Zoe, so I
yeah,
don't
I'm
blame
still
him.
not like I don't know.
But they're playing really passive bot lanes, and then like I feel like if they're gonna play those really passive bot lanes, then I feel like either Hooney has to play like a hard carry, or or they have to do some like play around mid more because like at least the game they lost to Optic, I didn't understand that because their bot lane at least played pretty passive without that many resources, and then top Hooney was on a tank, right? He was on.
He was on
Yeah,
Sion.
he was on
Yes.
Malphite.
Oh, Malphite. Yeah, that was the counter
Yeah.
for Vlad game.
So he was like true like they did okay, but like there was no point of Hooney getting the kills topside.
Yeah,
Like,
he
should've,
got
like,
all the kills on the
Dokla a few
ganks.
times, but
Yeah.
like they lost everywhere else.
I mean, Dokla is also the like arguably the worst top in NA as well. So that's
yeah.
pretty
So
good.
like I'm surprised like Optic won that game because I don't know.
Like in terms of tops in NA right now, it's like Dokla.
Yeah, but that was a pretty
Darshan,
aggressive
Cooney.
bot lane. But I felt like Lyra
Yeah.
spent most of his time top instead
Yeah, I
of
don't
helping
know.
up the snowball the Lucian.
I don't know what
'Cause
Lyra and
Piglet
Hooney are doing
Piglet
right
didn't
now.
get a kill till like 20 minutes in on
Yeah.
Lucian. He finished 6-2, but I feel like if you're gonna pick Nocturne and pick a Lucian Braum, then you should have Lyra focus bot. He was hard focusing top more.
Yeah,
So-
again, I don't know what Clutch like. Clutch had actually a better philosophy, I feel like, than 100 Thieves coming into from the preseason, which was like, okay, you know what, we're gonna go super volatile because our team was boom from last year, so we're gonna try something. I'm fine with that. It's just that it is not turning out. And Mark Z made a great point, which is like the reason he ranked them low initially was because there's just so many factors that had to go right for them to be good.
Yeah.
Which is like it makes sense to rank them lower. So his prediction's true as of now. So they're 3-7. They're very hard pressed right now because they have to win against a lot of good teams. They're pretty much boomed from playoffs unless they like have a huge win streak. All right, we can move on. You want to do Golden Guardians?
Yeah, you can do GGS.
Okay, because they're another team that's like what, they're 4-6 now. Because there's 4-6 teams: GGS, Optic, Echo Fox, and CLG.
Yes.
Okay. So
GGS
Oh,
is
you're going top to bottom. I mean bottom to top, right?
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, Clutch 100 Thieves, Golden Guardians, yeah. And then Optic.
GGS is an interesting team to me because I see them play. I see Froggen play, and I think Froggen's performing really well. Like the Tarthus, the Nivea, like even the Nivea game he lost, he was doing really well.
he almost carried that game too, like
Yeah.
against TL, which is surprising. That was pretty
But-
crazy.
I'm not sold on Deathly and Ole.
I think definitely and Ole are fucking bad.
I think Hunter's performing as like
You're
season.
telling me you didn't like the 1-8 the 1-8 Orn?
No.
I think the season. I think Hunter's playing as he did. I don't think Hunter improved or regressed. I think he's still season 8 Hunter. I think Contract is still serviceable as like your aggressive jungler, and I think Froggen is right now like the best player on this team
I
by
think-
far.
But isn't Contracts like also the worst, like the second worst jungler in the? Oh no, third worst jungler in the league right now.
Froggen? I mean, not Froggen.
Like
Contracts is
Rush
consistently like
would be like considered the worst, right? And then you have like Contracts and Lyra.
Yeah, but I
worst
think
jungler.
Yeah.
Contracts is a better than Nero though.
Okay, sure, but that means still he's like third worst. I feel like Contracts like still like. I
But
guess
would it
he's
not fit?
serviceable, but like I don't know.
That still fits his rating of just still.
Oh
the
no,
bottom
you also
rating.
have Wiggly though. No, I think Wiggly's slightly better than Contracts.
Nah, Wiggly's pretty bad too. Onda's
But I think Woodley has more room to grow
Mm-hmm.
than
Yeah.
Contracts, as Woodley's fresh. Woodley's
Yeah.
still Contracts has been here for
Yeah,
2 to 3.
Contracts. I don't know. I just don't think Contracts is like doing what he needs to for the team right now. I don't know. I think like bot lane and jungle right now for GGS is fucking them pretty hard. Ole is very boom. It's like
Yeah.
watching Kevin
Ole,
play.
no, do you remember that interview of like if Ole's like, oh, if we beat other teams, we make their mental boom.
Yeah, because they think we're
Ole's
bad.
mental's boom right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I just again, Golden Guardians like they just like lost pretty much what their everyone thought their early advantage would be, which is what FlyQuest actually had was really good synergy. So they didn't even get that. They got a few wins, but I think they're just gonna stay on a downtrend now. I mean, Froggen was able to get really fed on the Victor game, but that's not gonna happen every game when his team gets rolled over because Froggen isn't a
No.
huge like team player. even
Yeah.
if his individual laning is very good. All right, we can go to Optic.
If you want to go off the jungling stats, if you want to like, Sven Skaren's pretty up there too, for at least based off stats.
Being pretty down there, or in
Like,
term,
yeah, he has one of the lowest. He's one of the highest deaths. He's the second highest.
I actually
deaths.
don't think NA has really good
He is one of
junglers.
he has one of the worst kill participation.
I think we have X Smithy, Santorin, and Meteos, and Dardoch.
okay, I think Antoine played really badly this week.
We'll go FlyQuest afterwards. Hold on.
Because
I
Sven
didn't get to it.
contracts Acadian Wiggly Rush for kill participation. If you want to
Yeah,
go off of that,
we
If you
can,
wanna go off share of teams' deaths.
yeah.
It's Wiggly's the worst.
Let's go to Optic next.
Okay.
Oh my fucking god! Please put Asta in, dude. I don't. I just want.
Arrow is a beast this weekend.
Nah.
You see his jersey in his sweatpants.
I want to see Asta.
He really
I also.
is.
My god, dude. Alorum and Dokla are both bad. Is the problem?
Dokla did fine.
No, dude. Did you see his Vladimir play?
He popped
That
up.
was really bad.
He
He hit one flank and then
He
hit one
missed his
flank and then
ult
ran on the back
when he missed his ult in that fight. By the way,
Yeah.
he fucking missed his
Yeah.
ult in a
Luckily
flank.
They had the back door.
He had a flank and he missed his ult. That shit was like triggering. He didn't go Klepto either. Like you take Klepto against tanks just to, oh my god.
Who as you know Vlad?
Yeah, even as Vlad, you take Klepto. Again, like you're not solo. Okay, he wasn't solo killing Malphite. Like yes, you counter Malphite. You can beat him in lane because if he builds MR, he doesn't get additional scaling off that. But Malphite can also play safe and do that shit with Nocturne. Plus Nocturne is a good can play well into Vladimir because the fear goes through the pool.
The fear tether will still connect.
Fear tether goes through pool. So like, I don't know. I thought it was an intelligent counter pick, but he needed to go Klepto. I don't know. Just Dokla had a lot of individual misplays, and I think
Meteos is so good though. Meteos is the best early game jungler right now.
Meteos is good. Dardoch is good, but a bit inconsistent. Crown is like, oh my god. Crown's individual mechanics, I think, are like the best in the league, but his communication, he can't communicate, and he gets caught out randomly, like later on in the game, because he he can't communicate. So like he wants to do something, and I'm sure he has an idea for what his position's gonna be, but he doesn't speak English almost, like, so I don't know. His individual mechanics, I honestly think are like just one of the best in the league, but his communication, he just can't do it, and that's really problematic.
Please put that Asta.
Super problematic for the team.
The Optic gaming junglers are
Okay.
like, yeah, they're like Meteos' style. Like he has like the
Optic
right now,
Gaming
look
is
at the
mid jungle
stats.
right now. Optic Gaming is literally mid jungle. Imagine
Yeah.
if 100 Thieves had a good mid jungle duo.
I'm looking at his stats right now. He's got the highest CS difference at 15 of any jungler. Highest CS, highest gold of a jungler.
But also,
like,
Meteos been playing picks like Meteos also has been playing picks like Olaf a lot, which will steal.
Yeah. Yeah, but he also has a pretty good kill. Him and Dardoch have the highest like kill
Yeah,
participation. out there.
Dardoch and Lyra how to play jungle Jace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Optic really needs to just invest into Asta because Arrow's not going to improve is the thing, right? Like Arrow's been here for a while. He's on downtrend. He's relaxed. He's not going to improve. I feel like the only reason they're keeping Arrow is for Crown morale boost. But at that point, why didn't you just get a Korean top laner and then put Asta in? Like, flame.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. That's my opinion on 100 Thieves. Or not 100 Thieves, Optic. I don't know.
Optic's just
I think they can make playoffs, but they're super inconsistent is the thing, so I wouldn't bet on it.
But here's the thing: do you think Optic can end the stream or end the split positive?
Yeah, I would say it's possible.
Because I think they could beat TL if they play their early game and they actually fix up their problems. They play Asta.
I don't think
I
they're
think they
beating
beat
TL
FlyQuest.
unless
I
they.
beat FlyQuest.
I
They
think
played Liquid FlyQuest this week. and
in
then they
order to
played-
beat TL, they would have to be more consistent.
the
I'll
rest of
say
their
that.
games left to split, I think they could beat Echo Fox, they could beat CLG,
FlyQuest.
Golden Guardians, and maybe 100 Thieves. Yeah, that could be 100 Thieves, maybe Golden Guardians. That would give them 5 wins, and they would not go positive then. You know,
No,
they
but
won all.
I think they beat FlyQuest though.
You think they beat FlyQuest?
I think
Yeah,
they can beat.
I think
I think they can
could
beat
beat Fly. I
FlyQuest,
think they could
yeah.
beat FlyQuest. It's possible. They wouldn't go even though. They'd be one
Because-
short if they won all. of
We'll see when the time comes. Don't worry about it, Will. Do not worry about it.
Don't worry, I'm holding out. Saw
Yeah.
100 Thieves. Watching 100 Thieves lose them was the saddest thing.
All right, Echo Fox.
the Sunday only wins.
I
have
wish,
broken,
man.
not in a good way.
Echo Fox is another team where their top jungle is just, ugh.
It's shit.
What? Man, I wish Echo Fox had fucking Meteos or Dardoch right now. I would actually root for Echo Fox if they had Meteos or Dardoch.
Dude, Echo Fox is...
Rush. I'm surprised how bad Rush is doing.
Apollo's been playing so well, too. I kind of feel bad for him.
It's
like,
Phoenix.
Apollo and Phoenix have been playing really well.
Yeah.
Hako is doing pretty well too.
Yeah, even Hako has been pretty decent.
Even
What
Solo
is-
has been like doing his job. Like I don't think Solo's good, but he does his job better than like
There's
Dokla.
Rush.
Like Solo does his job better than Dokla, better than Huni, better than Darshan. Like
They
he's
need to
doing
take
his
Rush
job.
off J4. He just keeps inting. Like he just jumps into fights and dies.
But who do you put him on? Because like I don't think you put him on Lee. Because he'll do the same thing. He'll
You
turbo in.
replace him
Just put him,
and buy out
put him on
Dardoch.
Sejuani.
You buy back Dardoch. Say, hey Dardoch, we got Phoenix over here. It's like last year. Please come back. I beg you. I'm sorry we cucked you this offseason and got you into an
'Cause
academy
I
team.
feel like you need to put him on.
And they got Phoenix to come back after they fucking fucking cut his ass right before the
He needs to be
deadline.
put on something that he can like. I don't know. I feel you can't put him on a carry jungler because Phoenix isn't playing like supportive mid laners.
The thing is though, like I feel like Rush kind of has to be the carry because Apollo, Hako are just stable. Phoenix is erratic. Solo tries to be stable.
The problem
so
is
you just
they
need
don't
mid
put him on
jungle.
carries.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All the carries are going to Phoenix, really.
Oh, I don't know. That
But
team.
Phoenix is performing so well. I don't blame them for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix is doing surprisingly
Just
well.
take
I gotta give
Solo
them
off
credit.
Jace.
You put Rush on Kindred because Kindred started popping up again, and Kindred can keep
They
herself
banned
alive.
Kindred out against him. Liquid did.
Hmm.
So maybe he's been playing in scrims
Yeah.
because they banned it out. I noticed
It's
that.
possible, yeah.
Which was kind of an odd ban. So he must be
Yeah, that's possible.
doing pretty well on it.
Okay, in my opinion, between splits, they should really either beg Dardoch to come back or beg Meteos to join their team.
They're not gonna beg Dardoch to come back because they spent so much probably buying out Rush's contract from KT.
I don't think they had to buy out Rush from KT though, because like,
I don't think they're gonna give away Rush.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Rush is kind of there to stay for the least of this whole like season.
I mean, I want to see like Dardoch or Meteos though is the thing, because I think they would.
The problem
make
is their
team better.
academy team is no one impressive on
Yeah.
it either. So like I don't even know if you like Lorlo's their backup top laner.
Hey, I got an idea. What if Dardoch plays top for Optic?
Just plays Rengar, Camille top.
He's better than Dokla and Allura.
Honestly, he could actually position swap. He just Camille, Rengar, and Olaf top. That's all he plays.
No, yeah, he could just play Dardoch and Meteos, and they wouldn't know who's
You
top
play
in the
Jace?
jungle. Oh. All right. Anyways, okay, so Clutch and Optic are done with that. CLG, I think CLG
The story of Darshan not on 10.
is on the
CLG?
downtrend because I don't think Bio Stixay.
Stixay's
man.
playing like trash this season.
I was so hyped for CLG this year. Even with Darshan, I was hyped because I thought Bio Stixay would be super aggressive. Like I said, the one factor was, does losing Ziggs fuck over their like early aggression?
And it does.
Losing Ziggs was a huge fucking issue, and I was wrong about CLG. They might still make playoffs, but they're not gonna make I don't think they'll make semis like in our bet. And
My-
the other thing is like, I don't know. I just PoE is just stuck on another team where he has to fucking carry again. I feel so bad for PoE, dude. Like I
Power of
legit,
Heroes.
yeah, I feel so bad for fucking PoE, dude. He's stuck on another team he has to fucking carry across the finish line.
My
It sucks.
problem with CLG is that Darshan is only good on one champion.
2 champions. He plays,
Urgot's
Urgot.
down. Urgot's down for this meta.
but if you don't want him to
Yeah.
int, he plays Urgot.
My problem with CLG, I think CLG needs time to develop. I think
I think
they need to
CLG
develop
needed
their
more
top lane.
investors to buy Flame.
Yeah, wasn't Flame's contract like 600,000 or something like that?
Flame wanted a lot of money.
Yeah.
The only
It's like
reason
worth
Flame's
it.
on Dom1 is no one wanted to pay him the money. Even FlyQuest didn't want to pay him.
Stixay's got pretty bad CS difference too. He's only better than Bang.
I like Bio. I think Bio's too good for that team as well.
He definitely has the highest CS difference.
I don't know enough about Bio this split because I think Zazel has overtaken Bio and I think Smoothie
Yeah.
has overtaken Bio, even though Smoothie's a bit inconsistent.
To be
right?
fair-
best NA support.
To be fair, I think CLG had a really hard week last week. I think playing on upswing TSM and playing against C9 does not help.
That's true. That's true.
I think strength of schedule last week was really brutal for them.
Yeah, I don't know. CLG, I feel like other teams are gonna slowly figure out like their bot lane's inconsistent and their top lane is vulnerable. If two parts of
Yeah.
the map are very vulnerable, it's like drafting becomes easier, planning the like game becomes easier for the enemy coach.
Yeah.
I think as the season goes on, if bot or top doesn't improve, like or get more consistent a significant amount, then they're honestly just gonna be very fucked during the preparation time from the other team.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so we got FlyQuest next. Because they're
Yep.
5-5. We finished all the 4-6 teams.
Yep.
So I think
Will.
FlyQuest has hit their like,
The
and they were
ceiling?
pretty much they were the Golden Guardian. What people predicted would be kind of like the Golden
They've
Guardians.
hit their honeymoon phase. It's over. A little
Yeah,
bit.
I think FlyQuest is just gonna be in playoffs but not hit semis. That's
Yeah, I think they're gonna finish around the about 5 to 6.
yeah. They'll drop from like 3-4. to-
Actually, no, I think they can hit 4 because I'm looking at the teams below them, and it's like Equifax, CLG, Optic, Golden Guardians.
Yeah, it's
So, like,
possible. I just mean like they can. It's, yeah,
I think-
their
I feel
team
like
has
it's
chance
a
of upset.
three. Looks like a 3-horse race right now.
I just think
Liquid, C9, and
FlyQuest.
TSM.
Yeah, I know.
And
Like
it's pretty hard between Liquid and C9 because like Cloud9 and C9.
I do agree that FlyQuest is consistently better than the other teams, but in terms of regular season standings, I think they can drop below. I think in a best of 5, maybe they actually do shoot into 4th against like some of the other lower teams. But in best of 1 for the rest of the season, I actually do think FlyQuest is probably going to go downtrend now. Viper plays well, but yeah, I don't know.
God.
I just
Santorin's game against TSM was so bad. He's already 2 kills up against the enemy top lane. Why does he keep trying to gank the top trench lane? Why does he just keep going back top with Camille level 6? It irritated the fuck out of me. I was rooting for TSM that game, and it still pissed me off. Why wasn't he going top lane?
TSM Santorin, dog. 2 broken blades. Anyways,
I was actually having
Yeah.
a good year, by the way,
Oh.
based on his stats.
you have anything else on FlyQuest, Will?
I think Viper is looking better than Broken Blade, but we'll see if they put resources into Broken Blade and let him play carries.
Okay.
It's probably just because FlyQuest is kind of letting Viper play like Riven.
Yeah. All right. Team solo mid.
Alright, my boys. 4-0 over the past 2 weeks. I think TSM is showing that they can start playing multiple comps now. They played the double lethality poke comp with both the Jace and the poke Varus. They played Cassiopeia ADC to pretty good success. They played the split push game with Jax. I think TSM is actually slowly becoming. I think by summer they'll be number 1. I don't think they'll be number 1 in spring. They still have issues a lot. So we still haven't seen them play with Grid, and there's a high possibility of Grid coming back next week.
Yeah.
I still think they lose to C9 this week. So I don't think they're good enough as a team yet. Bjergsen is showing off Silas, which is really good. I think TSM is becoming a very flexible team, but I don't think they're all there yet. I'm really excited for how TSM's going to play, but I don't think they're at their potential yet, is the best way to put it.
I think TSM has a lot of like their roster is actually pretty new, all things considered. They got
Yeah.
Broken Blade, Acadian, Smoothie,
Yes.
and like a lot of their players have the chance of kind of being inconsistent, aside from Bjergsen. If this was last year, dude, man, I think back to last year and like TSM looked so strong in preseason, like before any of the games played, because they got best in the West bot lane, right?
Yeah.
And then they had a new jungler come in, so it was like, oh, this bot lane's super consistent. Oh, we got a new proactive jungler coming in. They looked so strong. And then this split going in, it was like, oh, there's some mild type, but it's like these are newer players and stuff.
Yeah.
So the fact that TSM is actually figuring out is actually pretty good for them.
Yes.
I would like to. I want to see how they play in playoffs, and see how they play in best of
agree.
5. I think definitely in best of 1 right now with the players they have, and now that they've gotten a bit more like I don't know, they've done a bit better. Even though the players can be a bit erratic, they've gotten a bit more consistent with them. I think in
Yeah.
best of 1 right now, they will probably stay top 4. But I do want to see how they play in playoffs, because that's going to be what gives me confidence for NA going into like MSI or internationals.
Yes. I actually think TSM loses in semis here if they play against either C9 or TL. I actually think they lose. I don't think they're good enough yet. I think in summer they can actually make it all the way, but I think as of right now, I don't think they're good enough.
I really think like Sven pretty much has to be more consistent for them to like win NA in once summer
I
hits.
agree.
Unless like it's like super carry top meta and ADCs don't matter, which I don't
Yeah.
think is the case because I think it's more about team play. Like even if you have carries, it's still about like team play, and I think the AD carry will always need to be consistent for that.
I think Smoothie showed really good results though this weekend. Like his Tom Tench was on point, like to always keep Zen safe, and I think his Thresh
Yeah.
outclassed COG as a whole as one player.
You know what's funny though? Like if we think about how good supports are, I feel like the top three teams have like the top three supports pretty much.
Yeah.
Core JJ, Zazel,
Zazel,
Smoothie. Yeah. All right. Well, so let's move on to Zazel and Cloud9.
Oh, that FlyQuest TSM game was one of the most boring games I've ever seen. Holy shit, that was
I don't
boring.
think it was boring. I think it was actually really smartly played from both teams.
It was like smartly played, but there was like no action. Like 4-3 in kills, and like the ending was just so anticlimactic. There was like no kills at the end. It was just like, oh, they just like FlyQuest just.
Welcome to LCK.
But if you're FlyQuest though, how do you engage on that team comp?
Yeah, like it was just like
Engage.
not much you could do. It was just like they just like let him take the base.
And then Silas just lives forever. Silas just lives forever with Alistair ult. And,
I think the league right now is pretty. I think the top three is pretty set for the rest of the year.
All right.
Even the next split.
Let's go for C9.
C9's disgusting right now. They look really good. I'm kind of like.
Honestly, like I feel like C9 has reached that state where it's just unexciting to watch them, just like TL, where it's like, oh, they're gonna smash, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think them versus TL is actually be a really fun matchup because I think of all the teams, I think they can actually beat Team Liquid, at least in a best of one.
I like C9 a lot.
Yeah.
I really like C9. I'm nervous about their jungle position. That's a position I'm worried about.
See, C9's the team that like I think much like FlyQuest, they're also greater than the sum of their parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sneaky's having a really good year too. Like he's playing really well.
Yeah.
I think, as we saw at Worlds, I think jungle is C9's weakest link. And I think Sven can get exposed, especially internationally, by better junglers.
Oh, I wish C9 had fucking Meteos, dude.
Sven has one of the worst, like, stat-wise. And, like, you can't even use the argument that, like, he's dying to set up the plays because if you look at his stats, he's got one of the lowest kill participations. Either that or he's just, like, or they just get a lot of kills around the map.
So, I wasn't watching NA. I wasn't watching NA back in 2016. Why did Meteos leave for Phoenix 1 in 2016? So 2017 he joined Phoenix 1, and 2016 he was on Cloud9.
Because Rush was on C9, and then they split time.
Oh, he didn't want to split time with
when
Rush?
When Jensen joined, Meteos and Jensen were clashing a lot because they had different ways to play the game.
Yeah.
So Meteos left the game, and then
Okay.
went to go play WoW for a bit.
But now Jensen's Jensen's gone. Everyone on C9 is fucking chill. I feel like Meteos would be perfect for this team again.
Meteos and Sneaky are like best buds.
Licorice, Sneaky, like Zazel, they all look like they just fucking play Fortnite together or some shit. Even Niski, like they all look like
I
they.
Sven, though, like,
just. I don't give a shit about Sven.
Might not be the best in game, but I just think Sven.
Dude, just imagine how much better C9 could be with Meteos.
I feel like their early game would help a lot. I feel like Licorice would be a lot better if Meteos was the jungler. I think bot lane there's no difference because Sneaky's always like pretty passive in lane, pretty sits back. His CS difference is always pretty low.
Do you think if Meteos returns to C9, if it was to happen, they'd be number one in NA?
No, because I still think C9 is a team that's greater than the sum of their parts. Their individual players are outclassed by TL, so that means I have to see their performance before I can actually. Because like, so the thing with predictions, I feel right is like, it's hard to say like, oh, these, unless like there's a team where it's like the synergy is completely perfect. It's really hard to say like a team that when their players individually are weaker to be able to predict and say like, oh, they can beat this team. You know what I mean? Like when I look at TL's roster, I still have to consider the fact that TL's individual players are still that much like stronger, or not like significantly stronger, but like I think they're still like a cut above, you know. So since say if TL was the weaker team and C9 was the stronger team, then that's like, oh, if they upgrade in summer, maybe that changes something and that helps them push them up. But since TL is the stronger team and C9 is the weaker team, that's not a prediction I can actually make is the problem. I think if this was the last year TL versus this year C9 after Worlds, even if, no, sorry. If it was last year TL versus C9 after Worlds, I think C9 would actually like have improved a lot and like been able to do well against TL. But now that
Was it with Jensen?
Yeah, with Jensen, like during Worlds. But now that TL has upgraded mid position, especially support position, C9 unfortunately wasn't able to like catch up in the race, which it's an arms race kind of. So I mean, now that we're on, like, we might as well move to TL. We're done with Cloud9, right? Anything else you guys want to say?
I just want to say one thing.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I feel like Cloud9, based off what I've seen, they're kind of in doing what Team Liquid's doing right now, where they're just so much better than a lot of the other teams in the league that they're kind of just doing like the default, like, we're going to beat you in a team fight because we're better than you strat. Mm-hmm. So I think if you put them against Team Liquid, I think they don't really win because I think Liquid's just that good at team fighting. But I think I feel like if this was back like in Worlds or like maybe next, like maybe summer going into Worlds or something like that, I think C9 could be better if they play these different strats. I feel like they just don't have to right now because I feel like they're just pretty good. Like I feel like Liquid tried something with the Yorick and it didn't work, obviously.
Yeah.
But like I feel like that's what makes me nervous if C9 and Liquid both do this, like, I'm gonna team fight you, because how do they beat Griffin? How do they beat IG? Like these team, like, because IG will just pull them apart with split push.
I mean, I think we kind of saw that with Fnatic last year. Was that like Fnatic solo laners beat out like Cloud9's, and like Cloud9's like they couldn't play team fight because Fnatic was better at team fight. They couldn't play like solo lanes because Fnatic solo lanes were better. They'll run into the same issue against teams like Griffin, pretty much.
Yeah, because that's the biggest problem NA has is the side lanes. Because I feel like every region will just pull them apart.
And the problem is like our teams that have good side lanes end up being bad communication teams. Like some of their parts doesn't end up being better.
Because if NA teams at Worlds or MSI can't get early leads, and it comes down to team fighting, and like if NA teams just NA ARAM it, they're just gonna get pulled apart.
So the thing is like
they can't force stuff on them.
I honestly I didn't understand the gravity of the because I wasn't watching NA back in like 2016 or following much esports, so I didn't understand the gravity of 2016 TSM back in the day, right? Because when I watched it, I was just like, oh, TSM lol, group of death. But it's like, well, if you think about it back then though, it's like teams overall weren't as strong. And that was like, it actually made sense that TSM was predicted to be actually like able to compete and get out. 2015 LPL got fucked, so no one was thinking RNG, would outclass, or it was like RNG maybe can outclass TSM in the 2016 group of death, right? Yeah. And it was like, okay, Hauntzer's actually an insane like NA talent they picked up. Bjergsen always good, and now they have a great bot lane, after that whole like fiasco in spring. So like, going back and rewatching this, I actually finally understand the gravity of the situation and why it was so disappointing for that to happen. So that I could feel like truly that must have been like a moment where it's like, wow, NA actually has a team that can compete. Whereas this year it's like, okay, like pretty much all our teams that with good solo lanes like TSM, like if I don't know, like if some of the teams got better solo laners, if that were the case, then it'd be like, oh shit, like if they improve as a team it would be better, but right now it's like it's not the case, it feels like. So no. I don't know. Let's go to TL then.
I agree, basically talking about TL and
yeah, I mean it's a boring team. I think Core JJ looks like the best performer on that team.
TL and CNN are just 10 times better than
I want to see how Impact performs at an international stage. Impact is great against NA players. He can handle their aggression. I mean, he got fucked in the York matchup, but like he also got ganked a lot. They play pretty smart, like in terms of ganking him with Acadian and Broken Blade, so that was smart on TSM side. I don't really think it was much Impact's play that was the problem. I think draft was a huge issue, and I think TSM just played smart. I do want to see how Impact handles aggression from international laners though, because like especially like I don't know. Like Ray wasn't really a team that would like test C9 like in the EDG match against like TL. It would like Ray isn't gonna like fucking destroy Impact, but like Blippo, the Shy, like these players. Well, maybe not Blippo this year, but
almost Sword.
Yeah, not Sword. Sword's more of a consistent player, but I'm thinking more like Smeb. Wonder. Wonder is actually one that is like actually pretty scary now because Wonder is looking really fucking good.
Summit?
Summit from Sandbox.
Sandbox. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought On Fleek was like the best performer in Sandbox.
Yeah, but Summit's still, I think, a strong top laner. I think he's trying to impact.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to see how well he absorbs pressure, and I want to see like at MSI if TL wins the split, which I'm like we'll just assume they do. How they play up against G2 and if they like need to change strategies with Jensen, because one of the things was that like Jensen in the Cloud9 series, like he didn't really get resources against Caps, right? Like he was just kind of like, okay, you're playing with Sandra.
Kind of left there.
Yeah. And now that Jensen is like on a double lift team, it's like, oh, he won't get resources, right? But it's like if they need to give him resources, will they, and how will that happen? So I'm just
I
curious
feel
to
like
see that.
double lift numbers, you can tell that Jensen's part of that team more because double lift numbers have kind of dropped. Like he's not number one in some of the categories that he was last time. Like CS difference, like gold percent. It's Jensen actually has a good amount of it. I feel like they're kind of like playing around Jensen in some of these games more, giving him more. Like the Syndra game, Jensen kind of got a lot of the resources there, and Double kind of took like the secondary role there. But I think they're pretty in trouble. Not in trouble, but I wonder what happens if it turns into a top lane carry meta for MSI or Worlds to see what Impact does. If it's not GP, I don't think you can stick them on Scion and hope to survive.
So how good do you think? I'm just curious. How would you have felt if TL had picked up Crown as their mid laner? Because they have Core JJ, you know. Crown can play lane monster and can play support. So I was just curious, like, if it was plausible.
I feel like it'd be.
Like I think Jensen's a much more attractive
You
pickup.
have 3 Koreans.
Yeah.
But then.
Like I think Jensen's more attractive.
I'd speak English or Korean.
Hey man, Core JJ can do both. That's
Core JJ is like a work ethic monster, dude.
Same with Crown. That's the point.
Yeah.
That entire team.
I feel like you could pick up Crown. I just think Jensen.
Right. No, I agree. I think Jensen's a more attractive pickup because like we can C9 like.
How much do you think they paid for Crown?
I think Crown was much cheaper than Jensen. I'll put it that way.
I think he's probably cheaper.
But
like
the thing is, like, TL doesn't care about cheaper is the thing. TL wanted to fucking buy Faker or Caps. Like, that shit wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, one thing. So I want to hear you guys because I wasn't around during the earlier scene, but, like, I was listening to Listen Loco today with Mark Z and Thorn, and they talked about how, like, Cloud9 was really good at, like, dropping people at the right time in recent years in terms of, like... So like they dropped contracts. He looked like shit afterwards. They dropped Smoothie for Zazel, and even though Smoothie's still good, Zazel's still a cut above Smoothie. So they picked the right support out of the two. They dropped. So when they lost Impact, they picked up Licorice. When choosing between Smoothie and Bunny Fufu, they chose Smoothie. And yeah, so I don't know. Like they were talking about how like C9 always had like these great like times where they dropped players and got new players, and it's. Do you think that like that has to do with like Jack, Reaper? Like what is it? Because I haven't been around.
I think Reaper. I think it's 100% Reaper. I think Reaper has a really good eye for talents.
Okay.
Yeah. I think C9 is really good at evaluating their talent. I think they do. I think they know what to do, which a lot of like professional sports teams don't know how to do. Like you know how like players like they'll have good seasons. Like the team overall will have good seasons. The Patriots do this all the time, but they don't let those guys like hide in the success of the team. Like they find like they're like, oh, our team overall went really well, but you were really slacking. Yeah. You just played on a good team, so you're gone. A lot of these professional teams will fall into this like this mindset of like, oh, we won, so we have to give this guy money and a contract because we won, and now we're stuck with this guy who's bad once we start performing. Like once some of the stuff starts hitting the fan, like he's not performing, and it's like, oh, we should have dropped him. I feel like C9's a pretty smart business where they like to be loyal to a certain extent. Yeah. Like when they benched everyone last season, we obviously saw that. Like
right. But that seemed like a desperation play for Reaper.
So like I feel like they just know how to evaluate talent, and they know how to like be loyal to an extent without letting them just hide in the success.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that like I would agree. It just seems like
they knew when to move on from like high and balls and stuff. So
yeah, when they need to replace elimination and stuff too. Like that. So Do you think so? I hope Sneaky stays good because I do like Sneaky as their like franchise player. So I hope he stays consistent enough. But so I guess we can move on to
Really well. He's doing really well this
Yeah,
season.
I hope we can move. All right, so I guess we can move on to predictions now for next week.
Yep.
I'll
sure.
pull up the games on my phone. You guys pull up the games and stuff.
I already have them up.
Yeah, I got.
Okay. What's the first match then? Why don't we start?
TSM Echo Fox.
This is Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. I mean TSM.
TSM easy. I think TSM
yeah.
takes the match.
Yeah.
Like there's
I
like
think TSM's
I think 20% chance upset, 80% chance TSM wins.
I
I
think
guess it
TSM at this point beats everyone that isn't Liquid, C9, or maybe FlyQuest. But
What about if Gridney plays? Do you think that percentage changes?
no, I think they're pretty interchangeable.
I think I
at this
can't
point.
evaluate it. Is the
I
problem?
don't think Acadian is the reason that TSM's been winning. I don't think he's.
I don't think Acadian
major
is the
reason why they're
factor
winning.
against Fox, against Echo Fox.
I
How
don't
about
think he's
that?
the X factor. Yeah.
I don't think
Okay.
against Echo Fox that's the X factor. So I still think TSM. Golden Guardian C9. I think C9.
C9 just.
Yeah.
C9.
CLG FlyQuest. I
Oh,
think
that's
FlyQuest.
good.
I still think FlyQuest is a better team than CLG right now.
FlyQuest
I
should.
think FlyQuest.
And I think
yeah.
FlyQuest has smart coaching staff, and they should understand how to attack CLG. Like they
Team FlyQuest.
yeah, they really should understand how to attack CLG.
Yeah.
Optic TL.
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 better.
20%.
I'm so pissed.
I'm putting 20% on Optic. Just, I think that. Oh, man, no, I don't know.
He better. Win.
80% TL. Core JJ is gonna try to BM Crown or some shit. Nothing personnel Crown. 100 Thieves Clutch.
Oh.
I'd rather die than watch this game.
Oh
Honestly.
god! Last time I watched this game was so
100
sad.
Is the answer no one wins applicable here?
Yeah, the fan. No one.
I
none of
think
the fans
I
won.
actually think.
I think 100.
Clutch.
No, wait. I'm trying to
I
think.
Clutch.
I'm trying to think
I think
if
Clutch.
100 Thieves improved or not at all. Man,
If 100T loses this game, then I don't have any faith in them, like at all.
I actually feel like 100 Thieves has looked worse since the start of the split. Is the thing. You know what I mean? Like.
I think.
I think their
they-
bot
I
lane
think
played
they-
better at the beginning of the split against better teams, and now they actually look even worse.
When
I-
the 100 Thieves went 2-0 that week, I don't think like they were convincing good wins. Like they beat GGS and Clutch, so like
I think Clutch
pretty
actually 55%. I give Clutch 55% on this.
yeah, I think this is the closest game of, this,
Yeah.
of the
Because,
week.
like,
which
I
is-
actually think 100 Thieves looks worse, and I think Clutch looks like they might be figuring a few things out in terms of, like, how to not fucking lose 10 minutes into the game against 100 Thieves this time. Because, keep in mind, that last time they played off, Clutch inted, like, 5 minutes into the game, and then 100 Thieves took 40 minutes to win the game. So, yeah, if that shit doesn't happen again, then Clutch actually might win. Okay, so day 2, FlyQuest Optic.
FlyQuest should
60% FlyQuest, I think. yeah.
Cloud9 TSM.
Cloud9 TSM.
Ooh.
Oh, this
Cloud9.
is actually the hardest one.
I
Ah.
think Cloud9
God,
55%.
the Cloud9 games are so hard to evaluate because their teams always sum of their parts. Yeah, I'll say though 65 makes sense for me because it's
I
like
think
a
Cloud9's
consistency thing.
Yeah, I think Cloud9's just good.
TLCLG TL. I don't think CLG has a chance.
Yeah.
100
Okay.
100 Thieves
Hear me
GGS.
out. Hear me out on TLCLG.
Yeah.
I think CLG can win just because it's CLG. Because
Okay.
It's a fair point, Chief.
because I think there's been times we rooted against CLG, like there's no way CLG wins this and they somehow win. Like when we said
Isn't
week
that
two,
what everyone said if CLG TL last time they played? Like,
but CLG C9 happened and CLG beat C9. Is a thing. that's
didn't
also-
Didn't Sven int that game though?
He did, but it can happen again because it's Sven.
I don't.
And
No,
you
this
can't
is
put
TL
C9.
though. TL's not gonna int unless they do some stupid shit like
Yeah, but Smithy ended against TSM.
I don't know. I don't think
To
this.
be honest, I think this would be like the Liquid CLG game this week would be the game that you first pick Yorick instead of the one against TSM. Like if you're gonna try something
Pick it against Darshan because
I think
Darshan
you
plays
pick it-
York.
yeah. I think you play it against Darshan, and then like
All right.
you're not gonna be hard punished like you are against TSM when they get broken blade ahead. Like
100
I feel
Thieves
like we
Golden
could've
Guardian.
waited.
Okay, 100 Thieves Golden Guardians. I actually think 100 Thieves wins this because Golden Guardians doesn't actually play aggressive enough to punish 100 Thieves.
I think this is I think this is a pretty
Yeah.
big toss up.
This
I
is
actually
like
think
yeah.
Golden Guardians wins this. I actually think Golden.
Okay, I think
calling it
100.
now.
I think 100 Thieves 55% for me.
So I
I'm
take,
calling a GGS. I'm calling a definitely Draven game.
so I take Froggen over Huhi any day of the week.
I do too. I don't think like Golden Guardians pushes their advantage hard enough to push over 100 T.
Okay.
It's gonna be a Draven game.
All
Calling
right.
it.
Fox
You heard it
Clutch.
here first.
Fox 55.
Fox.
Fox 55.
Fox.
I'm
Red
rooting for
Fox
Clutch,
is
but
it.
Fox 55.
Fox loses to TSM on Saturday, therefore they're gonna win on Sunday.
No, they won 0-2 this week. They
It
won
doesn't
0-2
matter.
No,
It's
no,
still gonna
that's
happen.
gone. That's gone. Mark Z bet against it, and he finally got his fucking shit. He said, "Fuck Rush. I'm gonna keep betting against him until that fucker loses." And he finally got it. Mark Zimmerman, baby. All right, I love Mark. He's fucking funny. Anyways, so that's week 6. The predictions. We only have 4 weeks to go. So this week, the week during break, well, the last weekend of our spring break, not Will's, I guess, and then 2 more weeks after
Yeah.
that, and then we have playoffs. So that's it's pretty exciting, actually. So at the end of the split, we should, after playoffs, we should
Are we
do
gonna go
a
to-
player
are we
power
going
ranking.
to finals in St. Louis?
Depends when it is,
Oh.
and depends if I have exams.
April 13.
Yeah, that depends when I have exams.
Oh well, Ian and Awad's at Lojo.
Ah, let's go.
Yeah.
I'll wear
Ian
my
will City with Drive.
my liquid jersey.
You're the only white person there.
Doesn't matter. It's all right. I'll be amongst my peers.
You have 2 Pinoys and a brown boy.
It's all good.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah. So end of season after, not end of season, end of split after playoffs, we should do another player power rankings, and then get a
Okay,
team power
for sure.
rankings. This time I think we should change up the system a little bit from last time. I didn't really like their like 70-80 system because it's like, oh, it's pretty much out of 30 points because you're not gonna rate anyone below 70, you know.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
even so, I'm not rating fucking academy players, so that shit's not happening.
What would you want to do it out of 10 or something? Or?
No, not out of 10. I just
Maybe
mean
do
like,
out of, like per 5 per rating, like team fight impact or like.
okay, here's the thing though. I was thinking about that today and like, oh, we could like categorize and you average the categories, but I think like that offers too much like assumption for like, okay, so it's hard to explain, right? Because like you'd still be assuming it, but like I prefer if there's a bit level of subjectivity to how you assign the average number compared to like, oh, I think their communication is this and their team fight is this and it averages out to this. Because for some players, like they might have like a certain like level of their individual mechanics, but their deficiency in something else is like so bad that it should be weighted heavier. Even if it's not that bad, it would be weighted heavier against them. For example, like a jungle or a support player whose individual mechanics are good, but has like subpar shot calling. I don't even mean bad or communication, just subpar communication.
I don't even know if you can call a shot calling though, because we don't even know.
Right,
We
that's
don't
what I
have
mean.
any
So there's a
knowledge,
level. That's
yeah.
what I mean. It's like a level of subjectivity that, like, when you assign the average score, I'd prefer it's just like, oh, I think the average score for this player is this, and let me give you my subjective reasons for how that is. That's why I didn't want to do it super mathematically, because I think that there's so many like variables that we can't account for, and like just say like this is the number. I think it's easier to just put an arbitrary like average number for where they're at. Which it sounds contradictory, but I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Just like you just
Yeah.
still just use one average number to represent the player.
Yeah. I think average number is the best way to do it.
'cause even though, like, that's
the way
still- yeah.
with your mindset.
Like, even though there's still some issues with that concept where it's like, oh, then you're not completely representing them as a player, I think it's a bit easier to extrapolate like why you came to that conclusion than to like, okay, here are all the averages and then, you know, mathematically like factor them. So yeah. You wanted to talk about the esports bubble thing though?
We can talk about it.
Yeah,
for a
so
bit.
okay, so personally, like, again, so the investors are getting promised, and I feel it's like a very similar thing to games companies where it's like you're pretty much promising them profits and you're saying like, here are our numbers, like, all right, you're gonna get returns, you know, because our numbers are really like good or they're on the uptrend, right? Because you're trying to get as much money now as possible, because when you get money now, it's like more valuable, right? And then you can like do
Yeah.
stuff with it. I don't know how the investments have gone on this long. So there has to be some degree of it being a viable argument to like give money, put money into the system. But at the same time, I know teams aren't happy with the level of profitability they see. And I don't think teams are stupid enough to be like, oh, we need profit like 2 years in. I think that's unrealistic, first of all. But I do think like there has to be more than that that's like making teams upset with like, I don't know, either how Riot's running things or like projections for the future or something along those lines.
I think any team who joined franchising had to, that isn't like one of the three big
It's like a
teams.
long-term investment.
Yeah,
Right.
they had to know that they're we're
Right.
probably not going to make that much money for their first
Right,
company.
and that's what I
This is-
think. But like,
It's a gamble. Like they got to
yeah.
put money in.
like no, so I agree. Like I think like logically, you can't think you're gonna make money like in the first like at least few years, but at the same time, again, teams are very upset with like how things are. So I don't know if like Riot promised something and they're not delivering, or like what's going on here in the
Yeah.
background. And again, obviously, like we can only speculate because this shit is all like in the back table. But I don't know.
Yeah, from my perspective, I think some of these teams, I feel like if they're mad about what's happening, they have to I feel like some of these teams are like not focusing on their brand enough,
Yeah,
and then complaining about money.
yeah,
That's why I was impressed with FlyQuest this year, with how they just completely changed their brand and they picked up streamers. They started getting their name out there. They started making content that was actually like decent.
yeah.
And then you notice that EchoFox made content this year, and then Clutch kind of made something.
We are Texas.
Yeah, some of these teams are finally noticing, hey, like maybe we should like work on our brands, and then we can make some money. Like,
Yeah.
I think GGS doesn't have content out there. So
They
I
made
think
the hype video. That was funny. I enjoyed
yeah,
that.
like that was funny, but I feel like they should do like their
And then after they
like,
started losing.
like they don't even have to do like FlyQuest doesn't do like a weekly like they don't do like a cinematic like TSM
Dude,
Legends thing or
The
like a
heist
squad.
before the season was so hype.
Yeah, and then it looks like now it's just beans. But
Oh,
like FlyQuest is like content every week. Like at least they do something out there to like
100
it's kind of like funny vlog. They're like vlogs with their players each week. So I
That's-
feel like these
yeah.
companies need to
Put
these
effort
teams
into
need to look at they need to put some effort into the content to reach fans, to
Yeah.
create fans.
I agree. I don't know. From an outside perspective, though, just looking into it, it's going to look like a bubble because of the way the investments are. But obviously, I don't think investors are that stupid, and there's obviously information we're missing. So like,
Yeah.
there has to be more to it behind the scenes. But I'm just so curious what it is that like that's like getting them. You know,
Some of the ideas.
like what
was
kind of
that-
projections are actually making this worth it for them?
Yeah, this year that said that it's gonna make about like 14 million or something like that for split up between the teams.
I wish our player base was as large as China's. I like how in China you could fucking order food off the League client. Like that's sick, dude. Imagine if you could just
But
order
NA is
KFC
not
off the
big
League
enough for that.
client. Like when you get First Blood, you can order chicken. That's fucking cool, dude. When First Blood happens in LPL, you order chicken or some shit. Like I wish that happened here in NA. I mean, TL's doing some cool stuff with Jimmy John's right now, where you get the free like buy one get one sub. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just wish there was more cool stuff going on in NA because like it'd really help promote the game.
I'm looking at the numbers from 2017 from just the viewership numbers for money, and it's like 1 million basically per team, unless you were Envy or Dignitas.
So what do you guys think of Worlds? So Worlds is going to be skipping NA in the 4 years. Okay, technically there's not an actual cycle, but if you go by the last 4 years, it's skipping NA. But Worlds is going to be EU, China, NA. So we finally get Worlds at a time that we can actually watch this year. Thank God.
Yep.
So
I loved watching Worlds at work.
I loved watching Worlds at 3 a.m., waking up, missing the first 1.5 games, and then seeing, oh shit, IG's destroying Fnatic, yay! And then
I watched that at work, and I was just like, wow, this is great, dude.
Oh, dude, so do you guys? So what kind of changes do you guys want to see to Worlds format? I want to see losers bracket, but I know it's not gonna happen.
I want double elimination.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Losers bracket, double elim. That's not gonna
Well,
happen, but that's my
That's
wish.
That'd really be the only change I want.
Because that
I
can,
want-
yeah.
I want best of 7.
Fuck
No.
no, dude. I don't want. I mean, okay, no. As a viewer, yes, I do want best of 7, but I 100% understand. Like as a player, that shit's not happening because a best of 5 games in best of 5 is over 5 hours of like playing League, and that shit is strenuous.
Yep.
So I think that like a lose. So I really think
groups.
a losers. No, I think losers bracket.
So NA can make it.
I think losers bracket would be really good because like just looking at the past few worlds, there's so many arguments like, oh, this region's better than this region because they got 3rd and 4th. Look at all the 3rd and 4th place finishes.
I think it would be good too because you don't want to have that the story of the unlucky day where the team just played
Yeah.
bad and they got knocked out.
KT fucking got matched up against IG who won the tournament, so KT got fucked. Fnatic was on the side of the tournament that had EDG, which was the third place Chinese team that scraped through Gauntlet and wasn't actually very good. They beat Cloud9, who 3-0'd Africa, who looked like dog shit. So Fnatic had like the easy road to finals. Then you have fucking IG, who had to blast through KT, blast through G2, who upset RNG, and then face Fnatic in finals. And here's the problem. So you have upsets like G2 versus RNG, which is cool. Like, upsets are cool when that happens. I'm not dissing that. Like, the RNG G2 series was fucking awesome. The problem is, though, that makes the later games worse. Because if you have an early upset, that means the next game is just going to be a better team versus a worse team. And that's likely to just be a stomp, which is what loser's bracket helps prevent. Because when you have a loser's bracket, that makes the finals have the two best teams. So I think loser's bracket is actually really important.
Yeah, I agree.
How would you feel about the top
But
four?
then does the final? So the finals, the winners versus the losers. Is it like Rocket League style? Is it like, if they win the best of 5, do they have to beat them in another best of 5?
Yeah, if you're well so if you were the loser, so if you're in the winners bracket and then you drop to the losers bracket, you'd have to play against the losers and then go into the finals is the thing, right?
Well, I mean, like, because I know some finals are like,
no, grand finals it will be just straight up best of 5. The winner does not.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering, because I know Rocket League does it so that the winner of the losers bracket plays in the finals against the other team.
Yeah.
And I know Counter-Strike does this too, where you have to beat the losers bracket team has to beat the winning team in a best of 5, and then if they beat them in the best of 5, then they have to beat them in another.
Oh wait, no, that's fucking stupid. No.
League's not. It's no bracket reset.
That's fucking. I think that's fucking stupid.
They bracket reset because they don't want the top team to get punished for being.
For not going into the losers bracket themselves.
Yeah.
Wait, I see.
I know in Rocket League it makes sense because the games aren't that long. But I don't think it would make sense for League.
I think in League the winners bracket team should just get side selection. That's all. I think that would be a fair compensation. Is giving them side selection for staying in winners bracket, and that's an adequate advantage.
Because Rocket League is short enough that you can do a bracket reset.
Actually, yeah, side selection I think is a really good reward for winning winners bracket as the advantage for grand finals. I think that'd be perfectly fair. It does kind of punish them in a way, but like it's
I think they need some
advantage.
sort of compensation.
Right.
They should be able to pick.
I think side selection is side selection for 1-3-5 or something. That's
because you need something for making well with your winners.
Yeah, without the second chance of losers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would you feel if the top 4 teams from each region went to Worlds? I'd love that, dude. That'd be so hype.
I think it would be a complete overhaul of how
What would the bracket be? Would it be top 3 from each group? Move on?
Bracket? Yeah, it would be top 3 from each. I've explained this before.
Can make it, boy. I like it. Let's go.
You think NA's? No, I'm kidding.
NA, if you said 4 teams from NA, dude, if you said 4 teams from NA, you're setting FlyQuest to Worlds.
Yeah, but what if NA gets stuck in group of death this year? Yo,
one of the NA teams.
How would you feel if TL gets put in a group with 3rd place Chinese seed and IG's the 3rd place Chinese seed and 2nd seed Korean seed and the 2nd seed is SKT, and then TL's first
might be 3rd place Chinese team.
Okay, fine, whatever. So TL has to play against either SKT or whatever or Sandbox, and then they have to play against either IG or RNG. How would you feel if that was the groups this year for Worlds?
I'd be sad because then you totally know that like
it's fucked. It's fucked.
Are you talking about? Then the 3rd place NA team, like, say we send TSM and they get to play like Fang Bu and like all these like tragic teams and they get to make it out, and then I get to hear from TSM fans on the subreddit for like a year and a half.
Hey man, to be fair, TSM fans didn't hear it from C9 fans for the last 3 years, you know?
C9 Solo mid, hope of NA, baby. Look at us go.
C9 is always the hope of NA, man. Okay.
But here's the thing. I hate the fact that you say C9 is the hope of NA when TSM and C9 had international record until last Worlds.
Wait, what?
TSM and Cloud9 had the same international win-loss record until last Worlds.
Well, okay, I mean, no. So I say that because I came in starting watching in 2015, and that was the year Cloud9 and TSM both didn't make it out, and then afterwards it was just C9 like unexpectedly making out. So for me, C9 will always look like
C9's the hope because they made it farther, not because
it's just in recent years. It's because like C9's like, oh, they come in as the 3rd seed from Gauntlet, and they're these scrappy underdogs, and then it's like, oh, they made it out of groups. What? So that's. Yeah, I don't know. That happens like all the time. But
Would the fourth best team from each region go through Gauntlet then, and then the third place would just automatically go through?
So I was trying to think of how you'd do this, right? And I think like, yeah, you'd have like a weirder gauntlet system, and then because the problem is like you can either make points the fourth place team, but then it would make shit less exciting in the gauntlet because the gauntlet's like, oh, this is the last chance to make it into Worlds. But yeah, I was thinking like, it would be like first, second place teams, then points, then gauntlet. In order
I
to
think
make it
if you
most
send the
exciting.
4 best teams from each region, then it would just be like, all the teams that make it out of like the fucking whatever the gauntlet would just be like everyone would it'd just be so sad to be like,
See, the main reason
Kaboom Esports, they make it out, and then like they get bodied.
the main
by
reason though
third
I
place.
want to is because LPL has fucking 16 teams, and like I want to see more of their teams is the problem because they have too many
like,
teams in their
it'd
league.
be cool to see more, but I feel like you could just like
Yeah.
the other region, like the minor regions, would just be so disappointed because they'd be like, yeah, now
Hey,
our
we
chances
created
are now
play-ins
really
for the
hard.
minor regions, dude.
Yeah, now that just, like everyone's just gonna jizz about Kaboom,
Except-
and they're gonna lose again.
Except play-ins didn't fucking work this year because all the major regions made it out. Even Taiwan somehow made it out. Speaking of which, Taiwan's fucking boom, dude. They're so fucked. They're gonna get
Taiwan's so bad right now.
demoted.
Get Betty off Flash Wolves.
Dude, get Rather off Flash Wolves. Griffin's loaning Rather to Flash Wolves right now. Like,
Yeah, at least he's on loan.
yeah, at least Griffin.
He knows
well,
at his
yeah.
heart that he's on.
He's on Griffin. They didn't trade
He's on
him. He
Griffin.
knows he's on Griffin. Okay, what about top 2 teams for MSI to make MSI cooler? Top 2 teams.
I
for
like
each region.
MSI over Worlds more. I feel like top 2 teams of MS. I want to see Liquid and C9 there.
Yeah, I want to see top 2 teams at MSI. That'd be cool because then you could have 2 groups. Like
Top
that'd be
one's
sick.
yeah. Top one's just kind of sad.
Yeah, top 1 because like it's like then you don't really get an accurate representation of like the you know
Because
the region.
if I want to watch Griffin win, I at least want to watch some
Right, you want
more
to see like them
fodder.
play against the other like Korean team of the other 2 like, and then maybe one of the EU teams upsets. You know, like that's more
I want
exciting.
some more fodder for Griffin.
The massive Griffin.
Yeah, I at least want to watch some extra games if they're gonna stomp everyone.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
at least want to like one upset in there that's not just them playing against Griffin.
Yeah, I want more teams at MSI.
They're
but,
just
oh.
we're just delaying the point where they get to Griffin.
Like honestly, Rift Rivals seems somewhat more exciting in the terms
Yeah,
of like
but-
there's more teams playing, but like
I
Rift
just want
Rivals
them
doesn't
to
take
take
it
it
seriously.
seriously.
Yeah, I want Rift Rivals to be serious too, but unfortunately it's not.
I feel like Rift Rivals would be more fun if it was just EU versus NA full shit talk like whole time.
Well, that is, but it's like they don't take it seriously.
I know. I want like serious
Yeah,
like
same.
I want someone from NA or someone from EU to just come out and just BM to the point where it's
Oh,
like
dude, you know if G2,
almost crossing the line.
dude, G2 this year, you think Ocelot's not gonna do that shit? You think Perks isn't gonna shit talk?
Dude, I just want someone from G2 to make a backhanded compliment about Double's mom being dead. I just want to see the shit hit the
Holy
fan.
shit, dude.
Could you imagine how hyped that would be? Double just
But no, here's the thing.
smack
Like,
down to G2.
here's the thing. I feel like if you trash talk the player's skills, not their fucking personal life, dude.
I know, but I just want to see some.
You
BM.
want to see you want to see
trash talk.
no he wants to see the shit like it's Dragon Ball Z. Krillin dies and Goku goes Super Saiyan. That's what he wants to fucking see right now.
I just want to see some actual fucking good ass trash talk.
That's not good as trash talk though.
We'll just want to see Double F go Super Saiyan.
Yeah, but people talking trash about other people's skill is so lame half the time because
But
half the
But that's why you're competing. That's literally your competition, though.
yeah. But what's an EU team gonna say about the fucking NA players' talent? They don't play against them until one tournament a year, and they're not gonna like they can't really say shit about it because they don't experience
They
it.
will. They will.
Actually,
They will.
well, yeah. You know, I liked Michael's point. Okay, so I'll say I was originally on Michael's point because I was like,
Like,
oh,
I
but
don't
like,
think you
no,
actually
no, no,
talk
no, no.
about
Let me explain. Let me
someone's
explain.
dead mom,
Yeah.
right?
But let me explain. Like, I was originally on Michael's point, like the sport, like sport integrity and like shit. You should be talking about, you know, the sport itself, and you should shit talk them about the sport and their skill. But then again, you made a good point. It's like, okay, well, I mean, the better players just gonna be like, ah, you're bad. My stats are better. Blah blah blah. It's like fucking lame, you know. You want some exciting shit, some fucking spicy stuff. I don't mean people's dead moms. That's a bit far, but like.
Yeah, that's
But
really
no, I get what you
That
mean
was
though.
more-
I get what you mean though. It's like you want something that's like spicy and it doesn't have to be game related to make it like more exciting.
Talk
I
about
see
someone's
what you
like, talk about someone's like shit Twitter followers. Talk about something else. Talk about their dying like career or something. Like I don't know, just do
mean. Talk
something
about
else.
Forgiven's lack of a hairline or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
talk about their appearance. Call people ugly.
big,
Big
big.
for
Where's your hairline? Oh, Arrow, why are you tucking in that? Your
The sweatpants,
Yeah.
dude. Like talk about that. Call someone an old man. Like call him washed up or something.
old
like,
man
don't just-
Smithy.
Don't just be like,
Yo,
oh, like,
Pinoy Smithy, what's up, dog?
I don't want to hear them like interview Perks, and then like Perks does like that smug like child like trash talk that he does, where he like kind of like, yeah, that guy's pretty bad.
NA is boosted.
Yeah, like Perks whether he trash talks like he's not confident in his trash talk. He kind of like just says something and then like he's like, it's just like it's like come on, bro, be so confident. I need someone to like grab the mic at, like right before Rift Rivals and just be like, yo, G2's fucking dog shit, like just straight up.
All right, well, I think we should end it there. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything else you want to say?
Nah.
All right, what are your plans for the next few weeks, boys? Me and Michael have break.
Dude, I have friends from LA coming over. It'll be.
I'm gonna play a bunch of League. I'm gonna grind to Master Tier or Grand Challenger. Or
Oh wait, no,
Grandmaster.
because you won't be playing on Saturday though.
True, but it
Because,
only takes me 1 day to grind.
You have a D&D one shot.
Yeah, but don't worry. I'll be Grandmaster Challenger. I don't know, whatever. I'll be rank 1 Challenger NA by the end of the next weekend.
If you say so.
Yeah. What are you gonna be up to, Will?
School.
Oh right, you have
D&D.
school.
Yeah, I can't play D&D sadly. I had a great character too. I was getting it prepared. When you we can talk about that off stream.
Okay, sure. Anyways, where can the people find you guys?
You can find me at twitch.tv/lawsofphysix and on my Twitter at lphysix.
Twitch.tv/Skieco, Twitter.com/Skieco_.
Okay, make sure to follow my Twitter for some awesome stuff. I swear I don't retweet weeb things like John Crimsey, and we're gonna get him back in the show at some time. Anyways, this is gonna be Jack signing out. Peace.